As someone who enjoys cooking outside but is intimidated by the prospect of using a grill, I was particularly enthusiastic about the introduction of a new product such as the Blackstone and wanted to put it through its paces. I worked in the restaurant industry for 20 years, in positions ranging from fast food to fine dining. I was constantly in awe of the cooks, both for their ability to produce food and for the quality of the meals they served. However, all of Blackstone's flat-top griddle models have the same feature: they all have a flat steel surface made of cold-rolled steel, which provides equal heat distribution and regulated cooking throughout the whole griddle surface. With a Blackstone griddle, the options are unlimited, from breakfast spreads for a crowd to weeknight stir-fries and blueberry cobbler, to name a few dishes. Using a big surface area and many burners, you may simultaneously prepare things that cook at various temperatures, for example, bacon and pancakes, chicken and sliced peppers, or bacon and eggs, plus no extra pans to wash. Putting the Blackstone griddle through its paces. Preparing the griddle for cooking begins with coating the entire surface with vegetable oil and turning all of the burners to high until the oil begins to smoke and burn off, a process similar to seasoning a cast iron skillet. Once the griddle is ready, begin cooking. Seasoning guarantees that the surface is non-stick and assists in the removal of any residual chemical coating from the manufacturing process. As part of my experiment to evaluate how well the Blackstone handled cooking various items at the same time, I filled up the flat top with pancakes, fried eggs, and bacon to cook. On medium heat, I fried the pancakes and used a Blackstone squeeze bottle to evenly disperse the pancake batter so that each pancake was the same size as the others. After that, I smashed the eggs directly onto the griddle. Initially, I was concerned that the surface would not be hot enough and that the eggs would run all over the place, but they held their shape and began to fry almost immediately. Finally, I layered on the bacon and turned the heat up to high, allowing everything to cook together. According to expectations, the eggs were finished cooking before the other foods, so I moved them to a less hot area of the griddle to keep them warm while I continued to cook the other foods. Having the ability to keep an eye on everything at once and move things around as they cooked was a dream come true. It was necessary for me to experiment with a classic breakfast recipe: smash hamburgers after I had finished serving breakfast. I watched a number of TikToks where people were cooking caramelized onions on the griddle, so I decided to make caramelized onions to serve as a topping for the burgers. For the sake of expediency, I spread the onions in a single layer on 1/3 of the griddle and covered them with the griddle lid that came with it. I started making the burgers when the onions were almost done cooking. To make the burgers sizzle, I used 2 extra-wide Blackstone spatulas to smash them together until they were thoroughly mashed. Then I topped the burgers with cheese and cooked some buns on the other side until they were golden brown. I assembled the burgers directly on the flat top, and for a little minute, I pretended to be a professional line chef. What are the advantages and disadvantages? There are several advantages to utilizing the Blackstone griddle rather than a regular grill, including the following. With so much room on the griddle, you can prepare many dishes at the same time and cook for a large group of people with relative ease. Grilled on one side, place a cutting board, wood or polypropylene plastic, on each side of the grill to keep the heat from the grill from escaping. The heat that can be regulated individually. 3 adjustable burners allow you to create cooking zones that can be controlled independently. Simple cleanup. There are no grates to scrape and no burnt-on food to remove. There is only one smooth surface to wipe clean. The simple grease trap allows you to push all of your greases through a hole in the griddle and into a removable cup, saving you time and effort. The cup is simple to remove and clean up after use. That takes care of the most difficult cleaning tasks. Of course, there are drawbacks to every cooking procedure, including the following. Cold areas. The Blackstone griddle, like a grill, contains hot and cold places that are different in temperature. However, the more you cook on it, the better you'll become at identifying where those areas are and how to use them in your recipes. Items that are really hot. The grill has several extremely hot places on each side of the grill. You are not permitted to place anything that will melt, such as a plastic bottle on the side. Avoid placing your tongs on the side of the pan unless you want to burn your hands. A decision on Blackstone griddles has been reached. Because, after putting the Blackstone griddle to use, it's easy to conclude that this was one trend that was well worth the hoopla in the first place. The Blackstone is an excellent choice for anybody wishing to enhance their outdoor cooking game this summer. All that is left to say is, get your grill on.